Some years ago, when my prayer life seemed empty, by chance I received a gift from a dear friend. It was the book Learn to Pray by Marcus Braybook, a gentleman whose books I've always appreciated. In the prayer book, he suggests a technique of how to walk in the countryside, something I'd always enjoyed doing anyway. But the simple instruction of allowing oneself to be invited into nature and being grateful at each step for being welcomed into another space was something new. I became one with the other, rather than being just an intruder, an onlooker. I invite you to take a prayer walk with me today. Enter into the spiritual space that is the natural world around. Feel the earth beneath your feet. Breathe in the air around you. Breathe deeply. Smell the fragrance of the natural world. Return the welcoming gaze of the sitting sheep. Feel the gratitude welling up for being received into her space. Slow down. Don't hurry on. Open your gaze to the wider flock as you stand, so that they too may welcome you into their space. Give thanks for this space we share with them, and all that inhabits it, all that we see and all that we cannot see. As we move on along a well-prepared path, we thank all those who work with nature, enabling many to have access to those spots that lift and renew the spirit. Often, this is on a voluntary basis for the sheer love of it. Without this working with nature, the paths would become overgrown. Trees also need careful tending and nurturing. To thrive and grow well, they must have light, hence the cutting and lopping to create the healthy woodland we are about to walk through today. Entering the trees, we see that one tree is singled out to welcome us onto a woodland path. It is almost as if this old tree looks out of a wise old eye, welcoming us into the woodland. Just stand for a moment and look around. The trees, which a moment before had seemed to be just woodland, each look different. At this point, we remember that we are now in the other's world. This is holy space. Look and listen. There is the sound of running, rippling water. And there it is, singing and bubbling for our delight on this our prayer walk. Where there are trees and where there is water, there too the birds sing. Listen and let our hearts be lifted in praise too. The song and sights of the woodland are alive with colour. The yellow buttercups, the green and cream grasses, so delicate in all their beauty. Let us not forget the deep pink bellflowers of the foxgloves, as if ringing with joy. It seems they are offered to us, a feast for our eyes and hearts. How can one but be grateful for the delight of nature? May we always treasure this bounty, awakening and renewing our senses and our spirits with every step. Gently, the water leads us to an open space where we can dwell a little longer. But this is no ordinary seat. The seat was made by those living locally to remember and tell the story of those whose homes and livelihoods had been taken away from them in the creation of Kielder Water. This reminds us that in prayer all our emotions are touched. Gratitude for the gift of this life we have today. Praise for the wonder of creation. Remembrance of others. And forgiveness for acts committed that detrimentally cause distress for others. As we continue our walk, we finally come to open water. Feast our eyes, fill our lungs, and give thanks for this time of prayer with each other and with all that we have encountered on our walk of prayer.